very much would like to get that that standalone Black Widow movie.
Coming.
Like,
Hopefully, yeah.
No, they announced it.
There are things like Black Widow could be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And I trust the Marvel cinematic filmmakers that they could do something with her and do it very well. Jessica Jones, what I've seen of Jessica Jones, is as good as any of the other Netflix things, and better in some ways than others. But so having a female character hold the leading role, hold the central spotlight, like, all right, yeah, this is definitely doable. And looking over at DC, like, DC may not want to do things the way Marvel does, but I kind of feel like Marvel's eyes are open to anything that works. Like, okay, let's incorporate it. This is good. Let's use it. Let's work it. So it probably is a core difference in the filmmaking teams.
I mean, DC took a huge risk with Suicide Squad.
But it wasn't executed very well.
I mean, they still took a risk though, and they were
Well,
willing
yeah, I
to
mean,
try that.
Yeah, but again,
What was the risk?
So they
Team of villains.
It was a team of villains. Like no one had really done that. A bunch of anti-heroes.
Yeah.
Bad guys who are actually
the actual villains.
and but a lot of them as villains really relied on the fan base, the viewers having any idea. There are a lot of people who are fans of Harley Quinn, but how many of them really know the Harley Quinn story, other than the fact that they think the character's cute, they like wearing the T-shirts, they saw her in the animated series, but they haven't read her comic evolution.
Well, it's kind of the same.
So she was created in the animated series.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's a cartoon,
right?
And the story evolution of that will only go so far. It's a kid's cartoon. It's an intelligently written kid's cartoon. It's a well-voiced cartoon, but it is a cartoon, and there is a limit as to how edgy this thing will get.
Oh, they're making an R-rated one.
They made a couple R-rated ones.
Batman the animated series was not going to be an R-rated thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And they're going to make an R-rated Harley Quinn. They had not made it yet.
Right.
So,
which is a risk. That's a risk.
When Harley Quinn seduces Deadshot in New 52 Suicide Squad, that story that these people probably didn't know. When you get to Harley Quinn fighting Joker's daughter over the Joker's disembodied face,
right.
That's probably story that people didn't know. Deadshot, aside from his appearance in Arrow, and that guy was going to be different from Will Smith's guy, how many people know anything about Deadshot? Killer Croc, you know what you know from the animated series maybe, but if you're not reading the comics, what do you really know?
Right.
This is a group of characters without a lot of established backstory that everybody knows. And then you have the Joker running through the whole darn movie. Like, he's not in the Suicide Squad. This movie shouldn't be about him. He shouldn't be here. Save the Joker for a Batman movie. You know what? Save some of this Harley Quinn Joker stuff for a Batman movie. This should be about the Suicide Squad, and honestly, I think the Suicide Squad would have been a lot better as like some espionage-themed paramilitary Dirty Dozen with super villains.
I think that's what they're doing with the next one.
That will be much better than trying to do the resurrected Aztec goddess. That's not the Enchantress.
So Joel Kinnaman, who
Rick Flag.
plays Rick Flag, he was just making the press rounds for Altered Carbon, his Netflix show, and he says the next Suicide Squad is going to be like way more grounded with like less sorcery. So which is what I think they excel at. I was surprised that they went with the sorcery angle in the first movie.
They certainly did a good job of tying to the current comic characters, El Diablo and onwards, Katana. But I'm like, the crux of this team, the core of this team, worked a lot better with the core group from the 1980s, where it was Bronze Tiger and Rick Flag and Boomerang
and Enchantress
and
Lash
again a different
show up.
Well, a bunch of people showed up. I mean, at one point there were characters who walked in and walked out. Captain Cold did a Suicide Squad mission. Penguin did a Suicide Squad mission.
I think they should do more of those like human villains.
Yeah.
For the Suicide Squad, for sure. Like, I think I actually like Captain Cold as more. I think he'd be.
I like Captain Cold. I don't necessarily know that I want him in the Suicide Squad, but I do like the character.
Well, I think he would be great in the Suicide Squad because he's so cold and calculating,
Sure.
And he would be, like Amanda Waller would have no issues, like, motivating him.
But
Did you ever see that animated Suicide Squad movie they did, Assault on Arkham?
no.
That was good. That's a good... If they did something like that, where Amanda Waller sends them after the Riddler. She doesn't tell them why she's looking to get the Riddler or anything like that. She sends them after the Riddler, who is in Arkham. So, in order to do so, they actually send Harley Quinn out as a distraction to distract Batman. Basically, it's this giant espionage thing, and so you're kind of wondering what's going on. And about halfway through the movie, everything sort of clicks. It's like, why do they want the Riddler? Why did they do this? But it's an animated movie, and it's got Kevin Conroy's Batman. It's based in the Arkham series of video games.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really good because it's got Deadshot, Harley Quinn, King Shark, Killer Frost, Boomerang, and Black Spider.
So, and there's almost no getting around this. I hear a lot of good influences coming from other media, but it would be really nice to just focus on a comic story, go to the comic writer, get the comic story, and, not from the video game, not from the animated series, not from some other multimedia, because this is where the comics become secondary. This is where they become marginalized, amongst the media. Is like, here's the comic, and this is where it all comes from, and now we've leapfrogged past that and gone down this whole road. I'm like, whoa, I thought we were just talking about the comic over here. Can we take an Ostrander story from beginning to end of a story arc and admit that it's good and turn it into a screenplay? We could, but, let's tie it into the popular video game. Why? Why ignore
Because they
a
want to make
story?
money.
Yeah.
Well,